I used to love eating shrooms. Before I moved up here, I went on a serious shroom binge in Atlanta. The most interesting thing, when you start eating a lot of shrooms, you'll find different ways to do shrooms. So I started day tripping, eating them in the afternoon. And what's interesting about that is there's an entire world full of people that are not on shrooms and also don't know that you're on shrooms and therefore have no context to interpret your behavior. Because the last time I day tripped, I decided I wanted to do some yard work. So I was mowing the lawn right as I started peeking. And I got very upset with myself because his voice came in. I was like, man, you started eating shrooms to get closer to nature, and here you are murdering these blades of grass. But then another voice came in. It was like, no, you know what? You're a homeowner. It's your neighborly responsibility. Better yet, your civic duty to maintain your property. So to me, I was having like this very intense, personal, philosophical debate about my relationship and the value to nature versus humanity. But to my neighbors, I was just some giant dude crying while I mowed the lawn.
The lessons we learned was, it said, business communication, communicating in business. There was an actual subtitle. It needed further explanation. And the video he decided to play, I don't know why. I guess he thought it was like a funny how not to communicate or something. Either way, he put in Abbott and Costello's Who's On First, and then he went to sleep. And then I quickly realized that I was the only person in the room who had ever seen Who's On First, because when Abbott starts getting into the bit, which the first line is, you know, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third. Right then all these kids start heckling the video, and they're saying shit like, this old shit's whack as fuck. What the fuck are these white dudes talking about? And that was a white kid that said that. So, no one was into it, except for one kid who has been paying attention the whole time. He was sitting up front. He stood up and turned around to clarify to everyone. He was like, oh, no. Who is the dude 9? To which the other kid said, they ain't said who the dude 9 is. So some of you have already gathered why I was losing my shit. I was watching a modern, urbanized version of Who's On First, sparked by the confusion of a video of Who's On First.
There's a building nearby that's just said Ernst & Young on it. And I was like, again, I don't know what that is. And I looked it up, and it said Ernst & Young offers professional services. So that answered all of my questions. It's a good answer, yeah. I met somebody that worked there recently, though, and I was like, what does that mean? What's professional services? She was like, oh, it's like consulting. They do consulting. I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. Oh, she's like, well, it's like when you ask somebody something and then they give you their opinion. I'm like, did I just consult you? She's like, yeah, that's $1 billion. $1 billion. That's a vague name for a company with a very vague purpose of business. It's like, where do you work? Smith. What do you guys do? Business. For who? Industries. No more questions. No more questions.